this year's theme says people, politics, policy, and the power of word. It is very clear to us that what we designed to be a program that will introduce majority who are our best minds across sectors of life, private sector, government, civil society, and even international development will attract the people for whom we have designed. You are our proof of concept. When this program started with the class of 2021, not many people would have looked at it and imagined that 4 years after, we would have you graduating as the first cohort. We would have Senegal ready to graduate students in December, and that we will be bringing on board SPPG Kenya, SPPG Ghana, SPPG Zimbabwe within the year ahead of us, 2025. What has that got to do with this year's theme? What it has to do with this year's theme is that increasingly Africa's middle class that hitherto abandoned its politics to anyone are realizing how irresponsible such a decision is. Society is made up of people, and in society people have private problems and public problems. People's private problems are private. They have to figure out how to solve them. As I've taught you in class, if one of you got up and said, I am not happy with society, and we then asked, why are you not happy? And they said to us, I am not happy because society has not made me to become a married man. Our reaction would be, what are you talking about? Why? That's a private problem. It's not a public problem. What is different is when, as Chimamanda was saying, someone gets up amongst us and says, we have a problem with how we're governed, because how we're governed is affecting our common possibilities of becoming productive and competitive people. There will be many others that would say, yes, we have a problem. That's a public problem. For as long as Africa's middle class is comfortable to find private solutions to public problems, Africa stays stagnant at best, but declining and degenerating at worst. You are therefore the subset of the people who, when they saw the advertisement for spending 10 months at the School of Politics, Policy and Governance in order to be equipped with the tools of public leadership, decided to respond to it. When you applied to the school, there are many more hundreds that applied along with you. But we do have a filter for our admission. And the three important things that you have to have as a track record would be your character, your competence, and your capacity even before coming into the program. In that, we're modeling that a people must have all of the necessary credentials to prepare them for politics. And so people with problems that are public, needing to have the right sets of skills that would enable the subset of them that will solve those public problems to do so in order to enable prosperity, stability, and resilience is the result of the SPPG program that you have been through. Politics. We've always spent so much time, even within development community, that I operated and still operating, talking about governance, but silent about politics. It turns out that for any society that has voted for democracy, you cannot talk about governance without talking about politics. And that politics and political institutions, political system, political incentives will determine what ends up happening to the people. And therefore, you are the generation of leaders that we are experimenting with through the Public Leadership Laboratory Initiative, to seeing how, by preparing you with an intentional, unconventional curriculum that builds on the 3 C's that already qualified you to come into the program, you will then emerge into the kind of politicians different from the ones we currently see mostly on our continent. You will be politicians that understand policies. It is a lack of understanding of policies, especially in the way we teach you at the SPPG, the lack of appreciation of basic economics, the lack of understanding of the importance of evidence in determining what the priorities of society should be, that has created a colony of political class that does not really appreciate the cost of poor quality public decisions. A series of poor quality public decisions year after year is the basis for Africa lagging behind the rest of the world. And because you chose to come to the SPPG, as Chimamanda said, it means that you have courageously stepped out to say it is not okay. Am I correct? You looked at it all, saw this accumulation of the public problems, and you said it is not okay. And that's where the policy side of it comes in. In the SPPG program, you went through all kinds of policy classes. whether it was just understanding political economy, or it was for you to understand legal systems and institutions, or for you to understand macroeconomic policies, to understand microeconomics, whether it had to do with trade, had to do with competition, or with market solutions. You went through them. You are people giving basic fundamental tools of policy making, so that as politicians, you will not be calling fiscal policy monetary policy and monetary policy fiscal policy. We also then taught you in the school exactly the same thing that Chimamanda spoke about this morning. Courage. We taught you that the only thing that would make you negotiate your values, negotiate your views, is when you're presented superior information. And that you will be people who say, in God I trust. Every other person, bring your data. The power of word. Your word going forward is not the kind of word that creates the kind of division that Chimamanda was saying. The power of your word has to be the power of evidence in determining the direction of society. You are a people raised on a different political culture. And that political culture you've been raised on basically says of you, I am an unconventional. So your charge is really to go out there and be the unconventional kind of leaders that we raised in the period that you spent with us. Your power to do great things are already in your mindset that you all accumulated working together throughout your program. Congratulations to the class of 2024.